Hi, my name is Struve, and welcome to the studio for Picture Window Puppet Theater. Normally I am a playwright, and all I need to write a play is my computer. But this spring, when everything started closing down, I started thinking about a new way to make something. I'd had the good fortune of working with a fantastic puppeteer named Lynn Jeffries. She's a puppeteer and a designer based out of California on one of my last plays, Epico, with Great Plains Theater Conference. And I'd been fascinated with shadow puppetry for a long time. And so in my last play, Lynn designed all the shadow, and so I wanted to experiment with what it would be like to design a shadow play and put it into practice. And I collected, I've been hoarding for a while, some overhead projectors, and brought them home and started the writing process for a shadow play, which is really drawing. So I called Lynn to get her advice, and she offered, because she's so generous, to let me use one of her creations from Epico, this dog here who was the dog of the Lords of the Dead. And then she wanted to design something for me, and I had this idea straight from the pages of my life. So with my deep artistic talent, as you can see from these sketches, I started just storyboarding out ideas for the show. And once I was done sort of sussing out some ideas, it got down to how do I make the puppets? And so then I would trace a design. Sometimes I would use a photograph and trace an image from that. Sometimes I would just draw a little bit more elaborately, try to get some facial expression, all kinds of things in for my creatures. We have these different sort of settings of our characters. And then, so instead of a pen, for the most part, this is a play that is written in X-Acto knife, which is actually really satisfying. And it's just cut, cut, cut. And I spent most of the spring cutting out puppets. Just different designs, some butterfly wings. I made some puppets that spin and do some special things, looking at a bird design. I wanted to incorporate color into the show. I had the good fortune of picking up a big pile of used light gels that make all of the colors happen in the show, and that's part of the storytelling, is to learn how to tell story with color. And the nice thing about using an overhead is sometimes you can use objects from real life. I used this twig to make the branch. I had a failure on the fence. I had cut up a dish scrubber to make the chain link in the chain link fence. But then on a very, very good day, I found this potato bag, which is a lot smoother, and I could back it so that the puppets could move on top of it in a smoother fashion and wouldn't get caught up. And then you can see some of them are jointed. And I do that using some fish wire and fire. And then they can move kind of interestingly. And that was always exciting too, to think about what the puppet needed to do Like with this one here, the puppet needed to grab the acorn. And how could I do that in a two-dimensional way while keeping it active? Well, these are the musicians from our production. So we have our music director, Kevin Pike,
Hello.
and our co-music director, Reese Pike, and we're meeting on
Hi.
Zoom because Kevin is very far away. He's in the basement right now while I'm upstairs. But Reese, where are you?
I'm at Lawrence University in Wisconsin.
Well, maybe I'll start off here. Going into it, we weren't really sure how we were going to do the music. And so kind of what we did is waited for you and Eddie to work up some of the puppets. And then Reese and I just came in and we just started playing stuff.
Yeah, so we decided that I would play the squirrel. And so the squirrel is the evil squirrel. So it was interesting for me to try to make some different sounds. And one thing I tried to do was for the different characters, I used different registers of my instrument. So I tried to do a lot of low notes for the squirrel, whereas for the butterfly, it was more of the entire range of the instrument. And so it was moving around all the time.
Cool.
And yeah, and I took the same approach that I was the bird. So that always started out in the high range of my instrument, and I would do some trills that would be kind of like fluttering wings and things like that. But then when I was the dog, I used the full range of the instrument.
Hello. Edward Pike. And what is your role in the production?
I am an assistant puppeteer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd switch to the next scene.
Uh-huh. Do you want to turn on your projector?
Yeah, it's gonna be quite late.
Yeah. Yeah, see, so we can't really show you what it looks like when he's manipulating the objects, but we can show you a little bit about how we would practice.
Okay, this was the hardest scene because it's kind of hard to move really slowly and not jerkily, using one finger. So I slowly moved across the screen.
Okay.
And then I flip, and
I would do my
stuff.
scene.
And then I'd be. No, I'd keep that on. Yeah.
So-
that tripped me up one night. It wasn't good.
But it was a lot of remembering what to do next, right? Okay,
Yeah.
what is your favorite part as a puppeteer?
My favorite part as a puppeteer is kind of like, I don't know, trying to put expression into these like shadow puppets.
Uh-huh.
It's just like little movements, and you're trying to create a story.